We are your local election headquarters, and earlier this month, Talk Business and Politics, along with Hendrix College, polled just over 1,200 likely voters in Arkansas. Roby Brock here with me to talk about the results. And I know you covered U.S. Senate and 2nd Congressional District, but also the governor's race.
Yeah.
Any surprises?
I don't know if you call it a surprise or not. I mean, every poll brings its own surprises, Donna.
Yeah,
so we won't get to the Senate and the congressional race until Wednesday and Thursday. But tonight we are revealing the results of the governor's race. Incumbent Republican Governor Sarah Sanders has 45% support. If the election were today, this is how voters are telling us they would vote. Democrat State Senator Fred Love, 40%, and the Libertarian Colt Shelby, 7%.
I'm surprised, okay, as I sit here and I look here and I see Fred Love with 40%, 40 to 45%. What can I read into that?
Well, that's overperforming for a Democrat in Arkansas.
That's what I'm about to say here,
So
yes.
I think what you see happening here, we released some numbers too about President Trump's job approval rating, and he's in the tank in Arkansas, anywhere from about 53 to 57% disapprove, and some very strongly disapprove numbers in there. He is the GOP brand nationally and in Arkansas. And so his poor performance for his job numbers is affecting other Republicans on the ticket. And we will see that in some other polling that will come out.
Why is he polling negatively, if you will, in Arkansas? Because I find that very surprising.
So Republicans are strongly supportive of him. He still has 85 to 90% support among Republicans. The Democrats have 85 to 90% support among them. It's the independent voters. That's the change. Independent voters in Arkansas for the last decade, have voted 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 Republican in many instances when we poll. In this particular one, we see 70% of independents say they are not voting for the Republicans at this juncture in the campaign. That's where the big shift has come.
So in terms of strategy for the governor, is it wise for her to distance herself at this point?
I don't know if she will go that far, but it would be wise for her to speak to independent voters who might have a different position. Talk about things that the president's not talking about would probably be not talking about all the, the SAVE Act and and all the vanity projects that he gets labeled with all the time. I think I'd stick to the bread and butter issues. The other thing about this poll that I think is interesting as well is Governor Sanders is doing well with female voters, which is not always typical for a Republican candidate.
So females across the board?
Females across the board. She's about 50-50 with them, but usually Republicans do not win the female demographic. And she is, and I think some of that's her maternal health, activity, and the fact that she is a historic women's figure in Arkansas politics. And she's a young mother. So she's appealing to some female voters in a way. And I think if she doesn't want my advice, I can assure you, but I think you will see her speak more to that.
Okay, so what would be your advice to the Democrat at this point in terms of winning more voters?
I think they still have to give people a reason to vote for them right now. It's not enough to say just who you're against and that you're not the incumbent. So there's still going to have to be some proactivity in messaging from Democrats.
Okay, you always have the most interesting stuff
Well,
when we talk with you about Talk Business and Politics.